Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Today, Friday, February 19th, 2021, Bitcoin hit a new milestone, topping $1 trillion in valuation. And if you missed my video on January 2nd, 2021, when Bitcoin hit its milestone of 33K, today it eclipsed 56,000. January 2nd, it was at 33,000. On January 2nd, we talked about how it would very well be at 45,000 or more on the 45th day of the year because of how important the number 45 is to Bitcoin. And it ended up being worth 48K, but we thought it would be worth 45 and 50, which is exactly where it ended up being. And we said it could go up even higher from there. And now that it's hit this milestone of $1 trillion, it's not an accident that it comes 45 days before Satoshi Nakamoto's April 5th 4-5 birthday while he's 45 years old. So I'm going to go back and play little clips of the video from January 2nd, but I just want you to see first that, again, today, February 19th, the day it hit this milestone, is exactly 45 days before April 5th, and Satoshi Nakamoto's the supposed creator of Bitcoin. It's kind of an anonymous character. People don't even know if it's real. It's sort of like Sun Tzu and Art of War. But we're going to talk about, again, the significance of this 45 in the language of Gematria, and then we're going to look at why tomorrow, February 20th, should be very interesting for Bitcoin. And I don't know if it's going to go up or down, but I'm going to tell you why tomorrow should be real interesting for Bitcoin, because there is something magical going on, synced up with the head of the Federal Reserve, who's entertaining the idea of, regulating things like Bitcoin. Again, they want to get us on a digital currency. Which one is it going to be? So, April 5th. Satoshi Nakamoto, again, one more time, 4-5. He's 45 years old, supposedly. Today, this huge milestone, 45 days before his birthday. And like we talked about, Valentine's Day, the 45th day of the year, was exactly 45 weeks after his birthday, which is why we suspect it'd be around 45K. But let me go back and play this. This is from January 3rd, 2021, this video, January 3rd, 2021. Just going to play a little bit of it, and then we're going to talk about tomorrow, February 20th. So here we go. Just scrolling down, the person who's credited with the establishment of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, we've talked about this before. His birthday is April 5th, 4-5, as we write it in the U.S. If you write it 5-4, Jesuit orders 54. But 4-5, and notice this is happening while he's 45 years old. His name, Nakamoto, his surname is 45. Bitcoin is 45. Ritual is 45. And if you read the reporting putting out, a lot of people are projecting that Bitcoin's going to continue to surge through Valentine's Day, which is the 45th day of the year, February 14th. And notice, from his birthday, April 5th, 2020, his 45th birthday, to Valentine's Day, the 45th day of the year, is exactly 45 weeks later. Okay, so there's that piece, and then I'm just going to skip ahead to about the somewhere right around here. Predict, wouldn't it be funny if it went up to 45,000 on Valentine's Day? So, again, we talk about it more. It ends up being a long call-in show. People call in and say, do I think it's going to go up like that? Should they invest? And what I was telling people is, yeah, I do think it's probably going to go up from 33K to 45K, maybe even higher. But are we sure we want to invest in this? Yes, we can make money, but are we essentially investing in our own chains? And I know people who really believe in Bitcoin don't even like me asking that question because they think this is the godsend that's going to free us from the Federal Reserve. But like I tell these people, Bitcoin is very secretive. Nobody really knows who's exactly behind it. No one even knows if Satoshi Nakamoto is a real person. And I'll remind you, the Jesuits sure love Japan. They killed their former superior general this year by the numbers there on May 20th, 2020, Adolfo Nicholas, which we covered then. And we're going to talk about a real familiar pattern with what's going to happen tomorrow, and we'll go back and compare that to what happened with Adolfo Nicholas, again, who died in Japan, where supposedly Satoshi Nakamoto's from. But anyway, I was saying to people, yeah, you can make money, but I don't know. I just don't know. Like, morally, personally, I don't feel right, because I think this whole cryptocurrency thing is a Trojan horse, and I think they're trying to bait us to get us to like the idea of electronic currency. Because again, if they have electronic currency, they can keep track of every last penny that's out there. And you start to think about the downsides of that, there are many. So Bitcoin right now, this thing that a lot of people are making money on, they feel like it's the truth. It's going to set us free. But it's possible, you guys, that it's not what you think it is. And we might find that out as soon as tomorrow. Again, Bitcoin, it rises real fast and it falls real fast. Just like between this point and April 5th, it fell down to 22,000. And that was on the 21st day of the year, which we'll get to. Because again, that happened on the 21st day of the year after Bitcoin hit its record high on January 2nd, a date that can be written 2/1 like 21 to start the year 21 in the 21st century, when Bitcoin's based on 21 million coins. And of course, 21 is the number of the Jesuit order, who are related to the Knights Templar, who were the first bankers of this world. But anyway, had you bought in when it dropped to 22,000, because like I said, it's still probably going to get up to that 45K goal. I mean, had you bought in on that on January 21st? Just imagine you'd taken all your money in the bank and put it on Bitcoin on January 21st when it hit 22,000. Your money would have gone from 22,000 to about, well, if you'd put $22 in, it would have become worth $56,000. If you'd taken $22,000 out of the bank and put it in Bitcoin, it would now be worth $56,000. And think about that, just from January 21st. If you make $30,000 in a year, and over the last 20 years you've saved up $30,000, and you had just decided to put all that in the bank on January 21st, your money would have gone, way up. You would have way more than doubled your money, which would seem huge if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of money. And there's people in the world who this is happening for right now, so they're believing so much in Bitcoin. And it very well could go up way more, or it could really tank and fall back down like it has in the past, when it went from a whole bunch to a whole little. So again, Bitcoin is this very interesting, financial instrument right now that no one really knows a lot about. It's very complex. It's very hard to understand and wrap your mind around, but there's a lot of people vouching for it and saying it's the real deal. There's no way it can be, controlled and tampered with. But you should already see that with your own eyes that it's not true. Anyhow, we played these two clips. What we said, the significance of 45, it has come back again because now we have a new milestone, 45 days from Nakamoto's upcoming birthday, and he's going to turn 46, and that matters because the word trillion equals 46. This ritual, because again, Nakamoto, Bitcoin, and ritual all equal 45 in Gematria, which is how we knew the number and pattern was significant. Again, if you're new here, this practice of coding numbers into words, it's used in everything in the mainstream. We told people at the beginning of last year that Moderna's stock would blow up on May 7th. A lot of people in this community made a lot of money. And realize, you guys, I'm not really trying to use this knowledge to be an investor, but you could. That's the point. I focus more on rigged sports games and murder the world of futures, as we've been doing for 7.5 years. Also told you why Biden would be the 46th president, why Trump would win it in 2016, called a million stories and much more from this knowledge. In 2020, if you're new here, look into what I predicted in May for the dates that hurricanes would fall on. We put out nearly 10 dates, and on all but one, a hurricane fell. And the one day it didn't make landfall on the date we put out, a hurricane formed in the ocean. Again, this knowledge, you guys, is used by the controllers of this world. And that's why Bitcoin moving like this should be concerning to you. When I was down in Portland, multiple people talked to me about how they really like my work, but the one thing they think I'm wrong about is Bitcoin. And again, to me, that's that cognitive dissonance religion mindset. If you think the work that I'm showing you applies to everything but the one thing you're really into, whether that's your religion or your sports team or your Bitcoin, again, it's because you're practicing cognitive dissonance in those areas. And look at what I'm about to show you with how this whole ritual comes together. So again, this is synced up with his 46th birthday, and it became $1 trillion asset. Now, what's interesting about tomorrow, February 20th, tomorrow will be his 322nd day of his age, 322. And tomorrow's date, February 20th, can be written 20/2, like 202. The date February 20th, the majority of the world writes it 20/2, like 202. When you write out skull and bones, it equals 202. And that is the secret society that identifies by the number 322 out of Yale. The recent Fed chair, Mnuchin, he was a member of Yale Skull and Bones. Two recent presidents have been in Skull and Bones, George W. Bush and George Herbert Walker Bush, the father and son. And, Skull and Bones is at Yale, where Yellen, the current Fed chair, also went to school. Was she a member of Skull and Bones? Maybe, maybe not. It's not public information with her like it was with Mnuchin. But anyway, the 202nd minute of the day is 3:22 in the morning. 322. Again, Tim Russert asked both Bush and Kerry in 2004, the two people running against each other for president, Republican and Democrat, about being in Skull and Bones. What were the odds of that, them being from such a small fraternity, yet the two frontrunners for the major parties? And he asked them both about 322, and both laughed and said, they can't say much, it's a secret society. Tim Russert would die not long after in history, and if you read his Wikipedia page, and even articles that were written at the time of his death, paramedics got to him at 2:23 in the afternoon, 322 in reverse. Tim Russert was also Jesuit educated. And again, the Jesuits in their logo have the Knights Templar cross. The Jesuits and the Knights Templar serve the Catholic Church, which we'll talk more about in a moment, because Bitcoin, through one of its, chief experts, heavily connected to Catholicism. But again, the Jesuits and the Templars serve the Catholic Church, and Skull and Bones gets their name and symbol, this one right here. They get it from the Knights Templar. And the Knights Templar, they would bury their dead in a shallow grave, let their bodies decompose, and then they would take their bones and put them in an ossuary, which is a fancy box. And the last bones that would be placed in were the biggest bones in the body, the thigh bones in the cross form with the skull on top. And then you would close the lid for the ossuary. So understand, Jesuits, Skull and Bones, Knights Templar, they're all related. And with regards to the Knights Templar, in history as we know it, they are the world's first bankers. And we're talking about financial instruments. So, again, tomorrow, February 20th, after this milestone, we have this interesting date. And this doesn't mean that the currency will go up or down. We're in unprecedented territory. So on this point, I'm in wait and see. January 2nd, I was feeling like, it's probably going to go up to 45,000 on the 45th day of the year, 45 weeks after Satoshi Nakamoto's birthday. And but what goes on with this Skull and Bones ritual? Again, that remains to be seen. There's all these other cryptocurrencies out there. Let's just say Bitcoin crashes. Many people will be super depressed, right? They'll just think, God, I got out one day too late. This happens to investors all the time. And I'm not saying that that's the case, but if it does crash, there's still all this new generated interest in cryptocurrency, and there's plenty of other ones out there with hype and people thinking they're going to be the next one. All that energy could just as easily jump into the next currency. So anyway, with regards to Yale and Skull and Bones, again, comes from the Knights Templar who served the Roman Catholic Church. Now notice the word Roman Catholic is 219, and this milestone comes on February 19th, 219. Okay? From Satoshi Nakamoto's birthday to today is 320 days after his birthday. You could also say it's his 321st day of his age. Like tomorrow will be 321 days after his birthday or his 322nd day of his age. The difference is you're either counting the day of the birthday or not. When you say 322nd day of age, that means from the day he turned, April 5th, up through tomorrow is 322 days. If you say 321 days after his birthday, you're just not counting the birthday. So realize, today, 320 days after the birthday, 219, Roman Catholic 219, Roman Catholic Church 320. You might recall we talked about this with George Floyd and the Jesuit ritual and how he was pulled out of a Mercedes-Benz ML320 and moved to a different police cruiser from number 83 to number 320, which was captured on camera while the officer was on his neck. And we were saying, what are the odds that we have two 320s on the screen? in light of this being a Jesuit ritual, and the Jesuits served the Catholic Church, and the Jesuit tactic is divide and conquer and order out of chaos, and that's what they do. They create all these rituals for the people to become involved in that ultimately serve their agenda, from funneling them into electronic currency to making them get riled up with the news and focused on one another and fighting amongst one of themselves instead of their collective enemy that works against them every single day. But coming back to this whole ritual, today, if you read the article, they're saying Bitcoin costs around $55,000. It went above $56,000 today and then came a hair down below $56,000. So like right now it's like $55,900 and something. But in light of the milestone, 45 days from his birthday and 55K being the number in some articles, others say 56K, which we'll also get to, but just notice Satoshi Nakamoto's 55, right? Remember, this is a special number. The word God equals 55 when you run the alphabetic order backwards. The word Satan equals 55 when you run the alphabetic order forwards. The word numerology equals 55, as does Fibonacci. And 55 is a special number because it's the 10th triangular number, meaning if you add 1 through 10 together, it's 55. And it's also the 10th Fibonacci number, if you know the Fibonacci sequence, which are said to be the numbers of God, related to phi, the golden ratio. So 55, very special. That's the value in headlines on the day of this trillion milestone. And you think about God, again, in God we trust on the money. A lot of people know the phrase, money is the root of all evil. Evil associated with Satan, bad, darkness, God associated with good. Some people trying to figure out in this world what's good and what's bad. Is Bitcoin good or bad? Again, I leave it up to you. I'm not telling you necessarily what to think, but I'm saying, doesn't all this seem a little bit too perfect? Now, with regards to the whole Yale and Skull and Bones thing, Janet Yellen just replaced Steve Mnuchin, the Skull and Bones member from Yale. She's also from Yale, and keep in mind her partner there down at the Federal Reserve is a Georgetown graduate, the first Jesuit university in the nation. Again, Jesuits have the Knights Templar logo. Skull and Bones gets their symbolism from the Knights Templar and is at Yale. But look at this. From her August 13th birthday to tomorrow is 191 days. 191's the 43rd prime. Remember, Yale's 43. New Haven CT, where Yale is 43, like how you'd write the address on an envelope. And tomorrow has 43 date numerology. So again, 191 days after her birthday, the 43rd prime. Tomorrow with the 43 date numerology plus the Skull and Bones connection, 20/2 like Skull and Bones 202 on the 322nd day of Satoshi Nakamoto's age, if that's even a real person. But also Society of Jesus, the official name of the Jesuits, 191. And with Bitcoin eclipsing 56K today before coming back down and nestling in just below, look, it's just below. Again, Society of Jesus is 191 and 56. You could also say that today was Janet Yellen's 191st day of her age. Tomorrow, the Skull and Bones Day, will be 191 days after her birthday. That's why you have to look at it both ways. If you're new here, all year we've been talking about rituals with 56. Qassam Soleimani killing, big 56 ritual. Coronavirus, the biggest 56 ritual ever. Black Lives Matter, 56 ritual after 56. And right on down the line, the Trump impeachment, part 2, was exactly 56 weeks after the first, plus 10 other 56s in it. Again, everything that's been dominating the media, the programming for our minds, has been 56, 56, 56, which is interesting because words like mind control equal 56, as does Washington, D.C., the headquarters of the federal government, where government means govern the mental, govern the mind. Washington, D.C. was once called Rome on the Potomac, owned by Francis Pope, not to be confused with Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope. But look at how perfect all of this is. And you know what else is weird? Cryptocurrency equals Janet Louise Yellen. Isn't that wild? And the Federal Reserve right now is entertaining these ideas of regulating cryptocurrencies to make them more stabilized. And I know the Bitcoin fans will say it's impossible. Never say anything's impossible, They want to bring in and overhaul something, change the way the system operates, but make it the thing. They can do it, you know. So anyway, tomorrow should be very interesting. And again, just realize, had you taken the advice we put out at the beginning of the year, you could have made a significant, gain on your financial returns. But again, is it ethical? Is this what we want to be doing? I know we got to feed ourselves. I can't be mad at anybody trying to feed themselves and their family and make their place better in this world. But again, are these things essentially, carrots on sticks that are taking us to a place that's ultimately going to be bad for all of us? And that is what I tend to think is going on. I could be wrong, but we will see. We will see. Now, just to go over some things. Again, January 2nd, 2/1 to start 2021 in the 21st century, when Bitcoin's based on 21 million coins. You get this milestone. Bitcoin soars past 33K. And these were the headlines on January 3rd, the next morning, which was a date with 33 numerology. And 2021 is the 33-year anniversary of The Economist cover. By the way, The Economist, you guys, The Economist, again, they've been doing some nasty 56 headlines this year that we've talked about, but The Economist in the most pure cipher is 56. Again, if you're new here, there's 4 base ciphers. The alphabetic order with the rules numerology, where 56 is considered the most pure. Also 17861. But again, in that same cipher, Society of Jesus 56, Washington, D.C. 56, Mind Control 56, Coronavirus 56, Black Lives Matter 56. Remember the whole toilet paper joke? Coronavirus came and then everybody went and bought out the toilet paper because the media told them so. Because people do what the media tells them in big numbers. But The Economist, 2021 is the 33-year anniversary of this currency. And remember, we were looking at this magazine cover well in advance. We said we got to watch the market on 10/10/2018 because that's the date on this thing. Remember, 10/10/2018 was one of the worst days for the market in history. And it just reminds that these people can move markets in the blink of an eye. And people in Bitcoin should really realize that because Bitcoin can move real big, real fast. Somebody's pulling those strings. But again, that magazine cover was put out January 9th, like 9/1. Phoenix is 91. That's the phoenix rising from the dollar ashes. The phoenix, very important symbol to the world elite. The thing that rises from the ashes. Fits in with that order out of chaos agenda. Destroy and rebuild. Create the problem, bring about the solution. Here's a problem. There's a pandemic. It's so deadly. You got to say that or YouTube will take your channel down. And, the germs could even be on the money. So we're not accepting dollar bills here. You know what I mean? They're really getting in our minds. This digital currency. Boom, Bitcoin is just on fire. And what's on the top of that Phoenix, by the way? Is that not, that very Catholic symbol? Very much like what's on the Catholic Saints helmet. What do they call that? The fleur-de-lis. It's got that 666 gematria. Number of the beast. 666 talons of gold. So anyway, we talked about that January 2nd. On January 21st, Bitcoin fell. It had its worst day on January 21st. It hit the record number by the Jesuit number. It fell by the Jesuit number. The Lord giveth and he taketh, right? But these people are playing God. It's not really God. It's the people playing God with the instruments that say, in God we trust on them. Well, the Bitcoin doesn't have that yet, but hey, it might in the future. But again, this was a date with 21 numerology. It was the 21st day of 2021 where Bitcoin really tanked after the 2/1 ritual. And then, like we said, on Valentine's Day, it should hit 45K. It actually hit 48K that day, and then it fell down to just about 46.5 by the end of Valentine's Day. I took the screenshot, but when I take the screenshot, it's always showing a time zone ahead. Like here, I'll just show you right now. I'm on the West Coast, right? So right here, it's 9:22 at p.m. Pacific time right now, but it shows 5:20 a.m. UTC. So that's just like when I took the screenshot here, it was still Valentine's Day, right? It was still Valentine's Day, and not far off from the mark that we predicted on January 2nd. And like we said, when it fell down on the 21st, I said, I still won't be surprised if it gets back up to the mark where it's supposed to be. That 45 ritual is something else. So again, had you bought in then, you could have doubled your money. Think about that. From January 21st to Valentine's Day, what is that? That's 24 days later, isn't it? 24 days later. In 24 days, had you taken everything you were worth and put it in there, your money would have more than doubled. I mean, that's pretty amazing to think about. If you would have put all your money in the bank and you were a billionaire, in that same period of time, you probably would have got 50 cents back on bank interest. So again, we know that the federal, fiat currency here in the U.S. is a sinking ship. I'm not arguing against that, but I'm just saying, realize they're moving us. They want to transition us. Are we sure that the same people who control that aren't the same people who control this? I know a lot of you think the answer is no, but do you really have the proof when you don't know that much about Bitcoin? And again, for years, we've just demonstrated stories like this in the headlines. Man who accidentally threw out a Bitcoin fortune offers $70 million for permission to dig it up, and a landfill, and notice the gematria of landfill, 70. The story was a British man who accidentally threw a hand drive loaded with Bitcoin into the trash has offered the local authority where he lives more than $70 million if it allows him to excavate a landfill. So what are the odds? And don't forget, Vatican is 70, Francis is 70. A lot of 70 rituals with coronavirus, another major Jesuit agenda. Again, to understand that the Jesuits are behind this, you guys, look up Event 201. And let me take you through something, again, one more time, something we've done a million times this year. When you write out Ignatius of Loyola, who died in 1556, remember Society of Jesus is 56, who are the Jesuits, but when you write out Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, his name's 201. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope, and notice his birth name equals 201, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, and he lives in the Domus Sanctae Martyr. You can look this up. He's the first pope to live there, and that equals 201, and more specifically, he's the first to live in this apartment at the Vatican, the Domus Sanctae Martyr, but he even lives in room number 201. And there's so much more to say about this, but when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, the Jesuit order is 201. In history, they were supposedly saved by Catherine the Great, who preserved the order with 201 Jesuits who she got in the partition of Poland in 1772. And again, just so much more. I mean, there's just so much I could tell you about 201, but Event 201 was the coronavirus outbreak simulation the same day the military World Games began in Wuhan, China, which were created in Rome by the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. And again, it was 56 days after that simulation that the first case of coronavirus in the world was documented, which was on December 12th, 2019. But then they pulled the date back and back and back and back, and now all the way back to November 17th. But initially, it was 56 days after the simulation. So again, just so many rituals with these numbers. All of these numbers point in one direction. The Catholic Church, the Vatican, the independent city-state that has its own bank. It's unknown how much wealth's really in that bank. The Catholic Church plays down how much wealth there is, but it's so easy to lie about it. They're their own independent city-state. They audit their own bank. There's essentially no regulation over it. It's the perfect place for corruption in the world. And if you don't know about the 33-day Pope, look into him, because when he came in, he said he was going to clean up the Vatican Bank and get all the mafia money out of there. He ended up going to bed on the Jesuit day that they were recognized by Roman history, September 27th, and he never woke up again. And what's interesting is he was the 33-day Pope. Most people believe he was killed with arsenic. Arsenic equals 33 in Gematria, in the most pure cipher, and it's the 33rd element on the periodic table. Okay, so with regards to Janet Yellen, just some things about her. She's 74 years old right now, which is a big boss number in itself. But from the day of her birthday to the day that she was picked as the Treasury Secretary to replace Mnuchin, the Skull and Bones member, who went to Yale just like her, it was 103 days after her birthday. Joe Biden, Jesuit, just like Donald Trump was Jesuit. But it's 103 days after her birthday this happened. Jesuits, the plural's 103. Janet Yellen has the gematria 42 like Jesuit. The month February also equals 42. Janet Yellen has the Gematria 42 forwards, 57 in reverse, like Georgetown's 57 forwards, 42 in reverse. That's the first Jesuit university in D.C. Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve. If I was saying Janet Yellen was the chair earlier, I meant the secretary. But anyway, these are the two heads. And again, he went to Georgetown. Jerome Powell's got that 201 in his name as well. Skull and Bones also has that 201 connection in the Francis Bacon cipher. And don't forget, the original Bavarian Illuminati, which was established by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, it was changed to Order of Illuminati, and that equals 201, like the Jesuit order, and he was a Jesuit. And if you look at the day he established the Bavarian Illuminati, May 1st, 1776, from that day to the day he ended up dying in history, November 18th, 1830, from the anniversary of the establishment to his death was 201 days later. And he died on the 322nd day of the year, 322, like Skull and Bones. And think about the year it was established, 1776, the same year that this country was established. Skull and Bones also has Gematria 76 in the base ciphers. The last Skull and Bones president, George W. Bush, his birthday was July 6th, the 187th day of the year. Washington, D.C. is 187. Society of Jesus is also 187. Also, from Janet Yellen's birthday to the day she was appointed, you could say it was her 103rd day of her age. You could also say it was 102 days after her birthday. The reflection of 201. And again, another number the Jesuits love for their mind warfare tactics, if you will. Art of War was translated by a Jesuit. Remember, Art of War is 102. World War is 102. The American Civil War began on the 102nd day of the year. The 9/11 attack reportedly lasted 102 minutes. Look up Operation Amalgam Virgo, put on by the federal government June 1st, 2001, 102 days before 9/11, the day of the attack that lasted 102 minutes. A simulation was done very similar to what happened on 9/11, and the front page of that document has a big picture of Osama bin Laden. Al-Qaeda also equals 102, and a cipher known as Jewish Gematria that's based on the Latin order of the alphabets. But, yeah, there's even more to explain here. Just like how, Mnuchin announced days before the George Perry Floyd killing that they would no longer be debuting Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. And Harriet Tubman equals 201, like George Perry Floyd, who was reportedly killed after an altercation that started with a counterfeit $20 bill. And then we talked about how Cicely Tyson, who played Harriet Tubman in her acting career, how she died this year on the 201st birthday of Harriet Tubman. So again, these are big boss numbers and could go on and on and on about them because there's just so much 201 stuff. It's just amazing. The book I'm working on right now will just blow your head off with 201. Again, the new book I'm writing, you guys are saying, why am I already writing a new book already? This one's a lot more ranty, a lot more language, not as much numbers, but enough to pop people's heads off and hopefully wake them up with an inspired message. It's not going to be as long as my last two books, nowhere near as long. But it's going to be I'm going to try to be 10 times as impactful. And I have a feeling that what happens tomorrow will probably end up in the book. So, I'll tell you what's already happened with Bitcoin's going to end up in the book. But I'm just saying tomorrow will probably be another noteworthy page. So, again, if you got here late, we talked about how Bitcoin became worth $1 trillion for the first time today, 45 days before Satoshi Nakamoto's upcoming birthday on 4/5, April 5th, while he's 45 years old, and how on January 2nd, we played the clip from January 2nd, how we talked about the major ritual of 45 with Bitcoin and why we should expect it to be worth at least $45,000 on Valentine's Day, the 45th day of the year, which was exactly 45 weeks after his 45th birthday, which came true. And now again, another milestone, 45 days from his upcoming 46th birthday, becoming worth $1 trillion when trillion's 46. Then we talked about why tomorrow looks like it could be a big skull and bones ritual. But from the information I'm working with right now, as someone who honestly has not done enough research on Bitcoin, is what does this little skull and bones ritual signal tomorrow? Does it signal really good things for Bitcoin? Is it going to an extremely new high? Or could it be one of those days where it suffers a major setback? And will there eventually be a day where it suffers a catastrophic setback that makes people want to hop ship, if you will? Because again, like Jordan Maxwell taught us, all currency is liquid. Maritime law, which also goes back to the Knights Templar, liquid assets and whatnot, cash flow like water flows. But yeah, what will tomorrow bring? And I'm trying to see, what did I do with my phone? I was going to take some calls, but I don't see my phone right now. So, you know what I'll do? Here's what I'll do. If you're on freetofindtruth.com, I'm going to set up a question right there right now for people who are interested. What is your prediction for Bitcoin for for some people it's already tomorrow, for Saturday, February 20th, 2021. And then I'll say read more here, and I'll link this post for people who need to get caught up. And in a moment, I will read the responses here for the people who have them, people who already have Free to Find Truth accounts. If you guys don't have a Free to Find Truth account, again, this is a totally free, censorship-free, tracking-free. This is just a community website for truth seekers who want to organize, network, share thoughts, and not have to fear all their hard work being deleted. What you post on this website gets archived, and you can go back and delete your own posts if you feel bad about it, or you retract it, or you don't like what you said, or maybe you think you put out bad information. But what you put here stays up here. No big brother's coming through and taking it away. Look at this, must be a troll. We do have some trolls on here, and we that's the only thing that you'll get deleted for, trolling. And I'll find out if this guy's just joking with me right now or if he's actually trolling. And in recent days, we have more of a surge in trolls. It seems like these are probably the big brother employees that have spare time who want to intimidate another platform that contends with them, that's based in honesty and things that are good. But anyway, ignore the trolls. We'll take care of them. It's the only way you get kicked off Free to Find Truth, if you're just here to harass people and just post, just things that are not helpful and mean. But I will come back to the replies. And the one thing is, it's not as fancy as like Facebook. I'll have to refresh the screen. So David's got the first word in, Bitcoin dump and XRP rise. It's funny it says 22 seconds ago, because that's the big number with XRP. So many of its rituals to date are around 22. Again, that's the most pure cipher. I'm curious to see what happens to XRP by 2022, one of those coins that has a lot of hype and a lot of big world players on the board for it. But you know what? Let me go track down my phone. I must have left it in the other room. I could have sworn I got it before I started this stream. I might have had a gummy tonight, but anyway, let me go track down my phone. Give me a minute, and then I will take some calls, and we'll see if anybody has a real good thought about tomorrow and what it could bring for the coin. Give them an advertisement. Okay, found it. And I brought back with me something that I've never shown on camera before. It's not that exciting. But a lot of you guys ask me what I take for vitamins. My mom's had me on these since I was a kid. She went to a conference like back in the 70s and was really impressed by what they had to say about. Because back then, GMOs and stuff were a newer thing, and this company talked about how you need organic things in your life, and these GMOs aren't going to have the same nutrients and not going to be as good for us. So this vitamin company is always, actually, you know what? I do think in recent years maybe they're not as organic as they used to be. But I do think that they're a good high-quality vitamin. I don't sell them. I'm trying to make money off this. But just the brand is Shaklee. Shaklee. So, again, there's things in life that are more important than money, like having good health. And I really do think that those vitamins have helped keep me healthy. They're a solid multivitamin. And, again, if you guys do research on the food we eat, it's grown in soil that's lacking nutrients. So the food that we eat has less nutrients in it than our ancestors had. So it's good to boost your body with, the essential minerals and vitamins that are likely missing in what you're eating. And the thing is, some multivitamins, they have all the percentages and stuff there, but the quality of it's not as good. So the percentages are misleading. Some multivitamins aren't even helpful. Some might even be detrimental. But again, I can't say that those have been bad. I've been a healthy person, and again, there's more than just vitamins. It's eating right, it's exercising. But for the people who asked that question, Shaklee. So just giving out some information tonight. And with that said, let's open up the phone line. Let me make sure I got the right number on the screen. I've been real bad with the phone number lately. Got to shuffle those numbers between the Wednesday night show and the rest of the week. Okay. The phone line is open. And it's first comes, first serve. It's a cell phone. It's not a call board. Maybe nobody's watching because I don't see any calls. Somehow I've ever got to start this live stream. Well, it looks like people are here. I'm having trouble. Oh, first call. Wow, that's about as long as it ever takes. What's up, San Diego?
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing all right. What's up?
Okay, so I wanted to say a couple things about Vincent Jackson from the day he died. From his birthday to the day he died was exactly 4 weeks and 4 days. You got a 44 there.
My man, we decoded Vincent Jackson's death this week. Today, his brain went back to Boston's hometown Brady, but we're talking about Bitcoin. So you can call me back when we're talking about football. I do appreciate that you're doing the work, but let's be on topic. All right, what's up, caller? Hello? 346?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Hey, my name is Yesenia. I found you through One Above Media, ran by Josh Terrell.
Well, hold on. Can you say who that is again so I can thank them? It wasn't clear to me. Who did you hear about this through?
One Above Media on Facebook.
One Above Media.
Ran by Josh Terrell. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give them a shout out. One Above Media. I appreciate that. Okay, and you were saying?
Yeah, so he's been sharing your work for over a year. This is going to be a little bit off topic. It's not about the Bitcoin thing. It's actually about, the blackouts and everything. Have you ever watched the movie The City of Ember?
The City of Ember? I have not.
Yeah. Okay, so it was a movie that they made us watch in school. Actually, I was in 6th grade. They made us read the book. But we watched the movie, and I rewatched it because I rewatched it a few months ago, and I took some notes. So when everything started happening, I just went back and I started watching it again, and I went over the notes again, and I just want to go over a few things. I'm going to keep it short, but basically, it's a movie about, and if you guys don't like spoiler alerts, just get like 3 minutes, or just don't watch for like 3 minutes so you can. The City of Ember, watch it yourself. But so basically, in the beginning, it's a movie about an underground city. So I guess the world's about to end or something. And so the government, quote unquote, the government decides that they want to send people underground to save all these people, so that maybe if they survive, they can continue making the world possible and like keep humanity alive or whatever, right? So there's a bunch of old people in the beginning, old white dudes, of course, in these blue suits, and it's so creepy. Like, they look so creepy, and they're just like standing in a room, and then they're holding a box, and in the box they put instructions on how to get out of the city, right? And they're gonna lock up the box for 200 years, and then they're gonna pass it from mayor to mayor. Okay, so the city is ran on generators. the generators give power to the entire city. It's only meant to last for 200 years. So then afterwards, they show the box being passed down from mayor to mayor. And it's so weird because the box has a countdown from the years. And it shows, it like stops on these weird numbers. It starts on 200 and then it stops on 181, 158, 137, 111. It stops at 83, 58, and then on 47, the mayor died. Like, it literally shows the mayor holding the box, and then he drops to the floor, and the box just goes into the ground. And then I guess when he died, the box just got he dropped to the floor in his closet. So the box fell in the closet, and it was just forgotten about. And nobody ever found it until, like, I think it was like 247 years later.
You know what's so weird about that? Yeah. What's so weird about that is last night, for whatever reason, I was just thinking about time capsules and all these places where there's these time capsules about these things that are supposed to be opened up all these years from now. And I've always just wondered about those things as a kid. It's like, okay, if there's some important information in there, why are we waiting until all these years later to reveal it? But anyway, go ahead. This is very interesting.
Yeah, it was so, and then the numbers that it stopped on, I was like 83, 58, and 47. Are you kidding me? And then on the 47th one, the mayor dies and drops to the floor, and then the box is lost. So they're at a point where they exceeded the amount that the generators could handle, right? Because it was only supposed to last 200 years. So the lights it's like the whole city is blacking out, and they have blackouts like every single day. So everybody's like scared that one day there's going to be a blackout and it's just never going to turn back on. That's the whole point of the movie, right? So then there's two main characters. It's Dune and then it's Lena Mayfleet. Lena Mayfleet equals 201.
Huh.
I was just like, this is ridiculous. I was like, are you kidding me? And then there's this place called the Unknown Region where basically they don't want any of the citizens to go in there, and people are always really curious to go see what's in there. So this one of the citizens tries to go in there to see what there is, and he comes out screaming, and then they start calling him a lunatic, and he was like, I saw water. And he was talking about how he found a river, and then a bunch of like people in black come out and dressed up in black, and then they just arrest him and they take him to jail right away. I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? So then, what else? Let me see. Do you know if 351, I don't really remember. Does 351 mean anything?
351, that number?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a special number. If you write out for the greater glory of God, it equals 351, which is an important Jesuit motto. And then if you add the numbers 1 through 26 together, it equals 351, and the word God is 26, and the word dollar is 26, and the word bank's 26. So 351 is the 26th triangular number, and it's also So that's the main part of it.
In the movie, at the end of it, the mayor is hiding food, like the mayor of the whole city. He's hiding a bunch of canned food in one room just so that when the lights turn off and don't want to turn on, or any disaster that happens, he can just go in there and hide forever, and he knows that he's good for the rest of his life until he dies.
It's like his billionaire bunker. Okay.
Yeah, it's room 351. I was just like, wow. And then what else? They have this like group, and they look like Jehovah's Witnesses, but they call themselves, I forgot what they call themselves, but basically they go around singing, and they're all dressed in white, and they keep telling everybody that the builders are going to show them the way. And I was like, man, that sounds about like Jesus is going to come back and save his people.
Or the Masons. They're the builders.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
And
well,
then,
I really appreciate all this. One more time, what's the name of the show?
One Above Media on Facebook.
Oh, well, I know that, but the name of the show you're talking about, The City of Embers?
Oh, it's a movie.
Oh,
it's a movie. It's called The City of Ember. Yeah, they have a book too, but I watched the movie.
The City of Ember.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to look that one up. Yeah, it sounds very interesting. I'm going to check it out. So, yeah, very great observations. And how old is the book and how old is the movie?
I'm not sure. Let me look it up.
I can always look it up if you don't know. Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate it. I'm going to let somebody else get in, but you have a great night. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. You too.
All right, you take care. Caller?
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, if you plug in the calculator, if you're stellar lumen, XLM is the
What? What?
calculator plug in XLM USB.
You got to call back. The signal's too bad. I'm sorry. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I got another unrelated. It's not related to Bitcoin. I'm not too interested in Bitcoin myself. I'd spend all my money on it if I was. But I found this post about Kanye. Have you read into the Kanye and Kim Kardashian scenario right now?
Yeah, I covered it earlier today in a video.
Oh, you did? God damn it, man. You're too ahead of me, man. I get off work and I have no fucking time, dude. Damn it. All right, well, I'm sorry, man. I'll check it out. Well, I appreciate it.
But speaking of that
work,
same
man.
stuff, Kim Kardashian 56, Society of Jesus 56, Kanye 56. It's all by the numbers. But yeah.
Well,
right.
there was one thing I noticed about it that led
Divorce
up to
is 40.
days
There's a lot more to it. I'm just going real quick because I'm trying to talk about the subject at hand. But she's 40 years old. Divorce is 40. It's all news by the numbers, just like their marriage was by the numbers. They're married on the 144th day of 2014. Jesuit Order 144. Jesuits run the whole world of entertainment, all this crap, man. But I'm going to let somebody else get in, man. You have a good night. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
It's going all right.
This is actually very funny because I was supposed to call in yesterday and tell you this, but it's funny because the caller today asked you about the number 351, but I didn't see this in your book. I'm currently reading Letters and Numbers, Chapter 1. I just thought this would be something good if you put in another book. I was just surprised I didn't see it, but if you type in the alphabet from A to Z in GematriaEffectNews, you actually get 351 and 126. I don't know if 126 means anything to you.
126?
I heard something about 701.
126?
701.
126?
Yes.
Again, that's the Knights Templar motto equals 701, which is the 126th prime. A lot of rituals with those numbers, 701, 126. Like the man who replaced Ignatius of Loyola, Diego Lainez, he waited 701 days to replace him, the 126 prime. So yeah, 126 got all sorts of meaning. It's not an accident that Kobe died while traveling from Catholic Mass on 126.
Yeah, but I just thought it was crazy. I put in the alphabet into GematriaEffectNews and it came at 351 and said the 26 Fibonacci number, I think it was. But yeah, that's very interesting with the alphabet being 26 letters long and stuff like that. So yeah, love your work, man.
All right, appreciate the call, man. You have a good night.
Yeah, no problem.
See you. Caller?
26. Yeah.
Caller, you're on. You got to mute the video. I hung up. I forgot to talk about. Guess I got to search different. I forgot to talk about Arturo Sosa's death on the 191st day of the current superior general's age, just to show more significance to that 191. Also, just about how Diego Lainez was the second leader of the Jesuits. He took office on 19/1, 701 days after the death of Ignatius of Loyola. But Arturo Sosa, he was the superior general of the Jesuits. He died last year, May 20th, 2020, at age 84. Superior Generals 84, Jesuits 84, the Jesuit Order 84, the Catholic Church 84. He died in Japan, where Satoshi Nakamoto's from. And from the current Superior General's age, Arturo Sosa, to his death on May 20th, was his 191st day of his age. And notice how his name goes with Jesuit Order and the day he died, May 20th. Caller?
Yeah, I covered it.
You got to mute the video. Hello?
Hey, sorry about that. It was delayed a little bit. So yeah, I know a lot about Bitcoin. I was big into it. In 2013, I got hosed pretty bad by the Mt. Gox event. So I could get you some pretty good, people to, who know a lot about it. If you want to, get an accelerated deep dive.
Okay, so are they calling in tonight?
I can get him to call in.
Yeah, get him to call in.
Cool. Can I ask a couple questions?
Go ahead.
So a bunch of my friends, they think the Jews are behind everything, not the Jesuits. Is your book a really good resource on convincing them,
Well,
your point of view?
it might wake them up to who to be more specific about. Like it says in the very beginning of the book, the Jesuits were created by Jews who converted to Catholicism. So they're not far off the mark.
And what about the Mormons? Are they part of the Masonic movement?
Of course they are. Of course they are. Created by a Freemason. Everybody knows that. So.
Okay, I've always wondered that.
Yeah, the Jesuits created modern
All
Freemasons.
right, hey,
It's all
thanks
related.
for your good work, my
You're
man.
welcome, man.
I really like your stuff.
Appreciate that, man. Get your friends to call in. I appreciate your call. Have a good night. Caller?
Hey, Zach, how you doing?
What's up? Yeah, you're on. What's up?
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'm just going to go ahead as if you can. So, interesting timing because BitMEX funding rate, a lot of trading activity takes place on BitMEX, which is a derivatives platform. And the funding rate basically is, if it's super positive, that means there is an overabundance of people long. And if it's super negative, there are too many short. Right now, it's especially positive, so the timing is interesting just with your video. Anyway, that's all I had.
Appreciate the observation. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
All right, yeah. Have a good night. And again, you guys, all roads lead to Rome, and then from there they go back to Babylon. But again, you got to think about who really built our language. Again, English is credited to a Catholic monk, and the calendar's credited to a Catholic pope. Again, so you got to think about who really runs the world. I'll take some more calls, and I'll make a point here about Catholic. What's up, caller?
Hello, Zach.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, man, what's up? Hey, I just wanted to say, man, okay, I'm kind of nervous, but I need to chill out. Exactly the Bitcoin and all of this cryptocurrency, I do believe, it's a bigger plan to it. And I really think that we all really need to get back to nature.
I agree.
And really detox our body, spirit, and soul.
I agree.
And also I was listening to you and Rambo the other night, and he was talking about Jay Parker.
Yeah.
And about like he seen like three blue pyramids, and so basically, if this is the Matrix and you can cipher between the numbers and letters, and do you think artificial intelligence created this simulation?
Well, again, that's possible. Some people have that type of feeling. I'd like to think that isn't true. I'd like to think that we have more control and we're not in a simulation that's just on autopilot. But again, I don't know the answers to all questions, so that's up for you to decide. I think we have more control than we know, and I think there's people in this world who want us to think that we're powerless and nothing can be done about anything, and some people believe, they just got to wait till the Savior comes. Some people want you to just trust the plan. Some people want to tell you to tune out because we're just in a simulation and things are going to be what they're going to be. But really, I think things are the way they are because we're all just along for the ride instead of fighting for our rights. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to just express that thought to you, man. I watch you a lot, and double salute to you, bro. You're doing a lot of things that a lot of people is cowards to do, and I just want to salute to you, Zach, man. I'm out of here, man. Peace and
I appreciate
love,
the support. And hey, just so next time, you sounded great. I never knew you were nervous at all, just for the record. So appreciate the call, man.
Man, I was terrified.
You sounded great the whole time. You had a great speaking voice. I didn't have a single clue, so I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Zach. Thanks,
All right, man. Yeah, you have a good night.
You too, man.
See you.
Peace.
Caller?
Hey, this is Derek from Chicago. How you doing?
What's up, man?
Hey, no, I'm just gonna make this real quick about this Bitcoin thing.
I don't know. From what I haven't been studying it that long either. But the thing is, I think it's more about the transaction construct than it is the money. And I think like I said, what my concerns about it is the terms of how like it's transitioning from paper money all the way to electronic money, and it's being controlled by somebody else. And anything on the internet in terms of somebody else control of it, whatever, somebody can hit the switch, it could be cut on, it could be cut off. So I'm like this. If I can't control my own money, I don't need to be messing with it.
Yeah, I hear that philosophy. So, and again, to me, it's just not transparent enough. People think it's the thing that's here to save us, but most people can't tell you where it come from. So, I mean, that's a big problem to me.
Right, because I'm a little bit old school anyway as far as dealing with stocks and investing. So it's like if I can't keep my cash in my mattress and keep my eye on it, I don't need to be messing with it. So
right,
yeah,
and you know what?
Good show.
Being old school, I'm more old school too. And all these young people, they think, well, one of the great things about Bitcoin is that it's not regulated. Yeah, you know what? Like all things good and bad, and because it's not regulated, that means they can really come in and take your whole investment out from you in the blink of an eye. That's also the downside of not being regulated, and that's why the Fed is looking at maybe regulating some of these Bitcoins, getting their feet in there. So maybe not Bitcoins, but cryptocurrencies. So again, people got to pay attention to the bigger picture and what's being done right now. And just like this headline says, it says the only companies that are as big as Bitcoin right now are Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. Those are the big tech companies. Like my new book's about, this whole agenda is the big tech takeover, and digital currency fits right in. And we've been wondering for a while, is Bitcoin the Trojan horse?
And Tesla, you can throw Tesla in there too,
Yeah. Indeed. You're right about that. So.
Yeah. So, all right. I ain't gonna hold up the line. Thanks for taking my call, bro.
All right, man. You have a good night. Thank you.
All right.
What's up, caller?
Yo, Zach, how are you, man?
Doing well. How are you?
Hey, man. Yeah, not too bad, mate. I've been trying to get in for the last couple of days. I know that we're talking about Bitcoin at the moment, but I just wanted to let you know what's going on here in Australia with the weather warfare, man. We're copping it over here just like you guys, but it's supposed to be summer over here, man. It's been raining the whole time.
And since I've never been to Australia, is that rare to have rain in the summer there?
Rare as, man. This is the strangest weather we've ever had, but it's exactly like over there, man. No one's looking up at the skies. They're spraying every single day.
Sure.
I take a photo every single day. Every single day they're spraying. And then you try to talk to people about it, and they laugh at you in your face, man. I don't know what to do, man. But yeah, I just wanted to get in contact with you and let you know that this is a worldwide thing, man. They're spraying heavy over here, but it's not cold weather. It's just heavy cloud coverage, like a full blanket of cloud over the whole skies. And when you see the sun up in the sky, like you can get your phone out and have a look. When the sun's trying to pierce through the cloud coverage, you see all these. It just looks artificial. It just looks
sure.
It doesn't look natural. It's like bubbly clouds all over it, man. Like I'm feeling very, very lonely over here, man. Like I've got no one to talk to. The other day, because I work outside when sometimes I set myself up for work for the day. Looked up in the sky, there was all blue clouds. All of a sudden, one big fat stream of I don't know what it is, chemtrails or barium or whatever they're spraying, straight over the top of me. In the next hour, it started pissing down. And then all my shit got wet. I just packed up and went home, man. I couldn't even talk to anyone about it. Everyone else thinks I'm crazy. They think it's impossible. I don't know, man. I just had to get in contact with you guys, all the listeners on there, man. Like, we got to do something. Like, this is war. I'm ready to go to war now, man. Like, seriously, like, this is war.
Well, that's because you see things for what they are. And friend, realize you're not alone. Actually, you know what? All of you on Australia who are listening right now, you guys really should get on Free to Find Truth and try to network. I know there's a lot of you over there. I've sent literally more books to Australia than I have probably any state in the United States. I have like over $6,000 in shipping costs for my book to Australia. It's probably sold better to Australia than any single state in the United States. And I think it might be because of all the stuff you guys are going through right now. but I know there's a group of you over there, so maybe you guys are closer to each other than you are. You know what? For somebody out in Los Angeles, I got a story yesterday. Somebody sent me an email and said they were driving their car past Griffith Park, wherever that is, and they saw somebody walking in the park as they were driving by with the GematriaEffectNews hoodie on, and they couldn't believe it. I've only sold like 50 of those hoodies in the whole world, so that is really rare to see one of those on the street.
Man, I'm buying.
But
I need one of them hoodies, man.
well, I'd suggest making your own, honestly, because it costs so much to ship it to Australia. I mean, I could ship it to you. It's just they charge a lot to ship stuff to Australia. But for the shipping cost, it would cost.
that new book, man.
Yeah, so to ship the book to Australia is 50.
And then I'm gonna put an order in.
It costs, so go to waterstones.com and order it, because then you can avoid all the shipping. For me to ship you a book costs $50 total, which is really expensive. But
I need one of them hoodies, but man, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold out for the new book, and I want one of them hoodies, because if we make it through this, brother, this knowledge and what you're doing here, this will be historic. You know what I mean?
Well, we're gonna make it through, but it's gonna be hard times, man. We're gonna make it through, but it's gonna be bad times, and it's gonna get worse unless we do something about it. Like you said, there's a war being waged against humanity. People don't see it. We got to figure out a way to fight back and fight back smart and in numbers.
But 100%. But these are highly organized, sophisticated.
That's why we got to get organized. It's true, but there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of them.
Maybe we got to start our own.
It's just like the Wizard of Oz.
We got to start our own.
It's just like the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, but man, and thank you. I got to say thank you as well, because you put me on to Mark Passio. He does a great breakdown of the Wizard of Oz too. And I've really been enjoying his work too. If any of you guys out there want to learn about what's really going on and how satanic and truly evil these people are, like, check out Mike Passio's work. I found it through you, Zach. Like, so thank you for that too, man. But yeah, what were you saying about the Wizard of Oz?
But I'm saying it's just like the Wizard of Oz. You know, there's the man behind the screen that's essentially the television, and all people actually have to do to overcome him is stand up to him, which isn't what he's expecting. And there's a lot of us.
Man, yeah, there's a lot of us, but a lot of us are asleep, man. And look at your work, man. It's undeniable. It's so rock solid. And still people want to put their fingers in their ears, close their eyes, and go, no, I'm not listening. La 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 la. Like we're fucking doomed, man.
That's my sister.
That's what I'm thinking.
That was my sister right there to a T.
Man, that's my sister too. Man. The vaccine's just about to roll out. It drops on Monday here in Australia. This is the first rollout of the vaccine. Drops on Monday in Australia. My mom, my sister, they're ready to go. They're keen as. They want that needle in their arm. They want Bill Gates' little love injection in the arm, man. Like,
that might be what we're about to live out, though. But that might be just the way it has to be, if it's as bad as it might be. So. Well,
that's in the Bible, isn't it? God sends down a great deception to man. I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and just let you know that this is worldwide. This weather warfare thing, man. Like, and this, it seems to be the most cognitive dissonance resonating thing with people. Once you start talking about weather warfare, that is when the switch just turns off. They don't want to know about it. People don't want to know about it. They can't believe it. Like.
But you know what? They can't yet. But like I said this many years ago. I said people will start to understand that weather warfare is real when it's too late. I bet you a lot of people in Houston who a week ago wouldn't have listened to weather warfare, I bet all of a sudden they think it's real interesting. My mom, when Katrina happened, that's when Katrina happened in 2005, and that's when I first began to research and learn about weather warfare. I shared it with my mom at the time. Yeah. She said, Zach, it sounds like you might be becoming crazy. I said, are you kidding me, Mom?
Yeah.
10 years later, though, my mom started to realize weather warfare was a real thing, because all of a sudden fruits and vegetables that grew before wouldn't grow in her garden. And then she started to do some research and learned about geoengineering. And she's like, wow, this is a real thing. I guess you weren't crazy. But it took her 10 years. So anyway, it'll be the same for a lot of people. The same thing will happen to a lot of people.
Yeah, man. Well, I hope so, man, because it's getting down to the wire here. And it really picked up just before Christmas, because they started hyping a coronavirus scare. Because this is what they've been doing. They hype up a scare, a cluster outbreak. They hype it up. But what I noticed was that they were spraying real heavy just before Christmas, right before Christmas, spraying real heavy, cloud coverage, raining, so everyone stays indoors. This is what my theory is, that keep everyone in the doors, and then they pump the fear on the TV. So it's like a system, you know what I mean? Like, they spray it, put everyone back in the house, just before Christmas when everyone's about to go on holidays, pump the fear of all these outbreaks, and then it's just like a system, you know what I mean? And then they let off, and they bring it back, let off, bring it back, man. Like this is worldwide, seriously planned agenda, man.
It is. Here, I'm going to make a point for people who are listening. So right now you have Seattle's weather, which is very bizarre for Australia, but Seattle's used to being covered in cloud cover and rain. So you're experiencing the weather of Seattle, which doesn't happen in Australia. In the last 10, 15 years, Seattle's weather's actually become a lot sunnier than it used to be. But it was about 10 years ago now, I believe it was 2009. I was living in Seattle. This unprecedented storm hit Seattle the week before all the holiday shopping. And it's like normally the best week of the year for businesses to sell. But the weather was so bad, everything shut down in Seattle, which is a hilly city. The buses weren't running. People couldn't drive. No one could commute. Shops didn't get their business. It stayed bad. A lot of places went out of business. And then next thing right after that, a lot of landlords, since they lost the businesses in there, they decided to demolish their buildings and build no condos. And then right at that same time, Amazon started to buy up everything and take over the city. I look back at that now, how fluid it was, how that happened in 2009, which wrecked a lot of businesses and put a lot of people out in Seattle. And then how Amazon came in and essentially bought up all this real estate while the prices were down, and now it's Amazon City. And I realize in hindsight that wasn't an accident. That was weather warfare in action, a planned way to do business, and blame it on Mother Nature. So this is the world we're living in.
Yeah. Perfect timing. Exactly the same thing happened over here. And a similar story happened over here. Same real estate sort of deal, and then the big bank comes and buys it up. And same shit over here, man. Like, this is worldwide. We really need to wake up, people. But thanks again, Zach. Like, I've learned amazing stuff through you, man, and I'm always listening. So yeah, and I'm going to get on Free to Find Truth and try link up with some people, man, because we need to wake these people up, man.
Indeed. Everybody needs to get on that website and use it while you still can. I'm paying a big bill to try to unite and network people. It's been up for over a year. We're not even at 10,000 members yet. It makes me sad. There's not 10,000 people in the world that want to organize a network. Come on, you guys. All right, man, you have a good night. You be strong out there, Australia. Take care, man.
Hey, thank you, brother. Peace.
Yeah. I didn't quite switch over to Detroit fast enough. Sorry, Detroit. But the line is open, you guys, and now it's Austin, Texas. Speaking of the Jesuits. What's up, Austin? Austin, you got to mute your video. You're on.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing. I heard you talking earlier about like Texas and Portland. I'm in Houston right now, and I just wanted to tell you that you're kind of, you're right on about that, man. That stuff goes back like Greg Popovich for like shady trades with and I remember a couple of years ago when the Blazers, they traded Enes Kanter to the Blazers, right? And Yusuf Nurkic got hurt 2 games after, and Enes Kanter wasn't even allowed to travel outside of the country, and they were like going to play the Raptors potentially in the finals. There was like no way that anybody would have traded for him, but the Blazers have always been like very tied up. And what you just said about Amazon, I'm actually a property tax attorney, and I just read that Amazon just bought a giant robotic only, because they just got a big tax abatement in Waco, which is where Baylor is, right in between Dallas and San Antonio, and they got this huge tax abatement, and all they're guaranteeing is there's going to be 1,000 employees, but it's mainly a robotic plant, right? So it's pretty crazy that you mentioned that, because like there's definitely something. In the last thing I wanted to say, just I'm your age exactly. When I went to college at UT in Austin, there were a bunch of people just moving from Portland down to Austin. Almost all the cab drivers, because they said they just built like a big transit system, and taxes were getting crazy. So it was just funny that you said that earlier, because I've always said there's some like weird thing with Portland and Austin, and sure enough, like Austin just passed this huge multi-billion-dollar transit system, and I don't know, man, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, something's going on. It makes me think that there must be something with a ley line or something. There's got to be some sort of history I don't know about. We're going to find it eventually as a community, but something's obviously going on.
Well, let me just say one more thing. Something nobody picked up on this Super Bowl deal, man. From George Bush's inauguration on 11/8/88 to this Super Bowl, it was 11,706 days, right? Well, if you go to Tom Brady's birthday
8377. By the way, his running back has the same birthday as him, just
Right.
like Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. But it is the bottom thing on the the date thing. If you take 8 times 3 times 7 times 7, it comes out to 1176. That's the 48 triangular number. George W. Bush was also born on 7/6. If you put George Bush Bowl into the Gematria English extended, it comes out to 1176.
Weird.
And but why I wanted to bring that up was the San Antonio back in. I've always wondered, and this is crazy. I'd like you can decode this a lot better than I can. You know about the Jesuits, but the San Antonio Spurs, dude. Emmanuel Ginobili. Emmanuel, God is with us, kind of like Chris Paul, that middle name. But he was from Argentina. Tony Parker from France.
Yeah.
Where the Jesuits are from. And then
right.
Tim Duncan.
Right.
The Tim Duncan. And I've always wondered why they won all those championships. W. Avril Harriman built the U.S. Standard, they conglomerated all the railroad tracks, and they built the largest intermodal, what they call intermodal, which just means being able to do trains and trucks in San Antonio in 2011. So I'm a property tax attorney. I never heard about this. You can go online and find press releases. What's so ironic is this thing was built in 2011. And in these press releases, there's just 2 of them, but on the very bottom, it talks about how our exports are decreasing, but our imports from China are increasing. So all this stuff that kind of Trump was talking about 9 years ago, they were already setting it up to kind of flush that stuff through Mexico. And then to, and that's why Houston right now, what they're doing with, the whole Elon Musk thing, like you just said. I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday, Mars conjuncted with the moon.
Yeah, I covered it in my video. I appreciate it, man. I'm going to let some more people get in, though, but great call, great information. I'm going to look more into that Spurs thing, too. Man. Thanks, man. Yeah, check out my video on the Mars landing yesterday. The Mars and moon were in conjunction. Landings. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach? Hey, I wanted to call about Bitcoin. I wanted to say a couple of things. Number one, in terms of technology and blockchain and software and programming, Bitcoin can be compared to the Wright brother airplane. So it's phenomenal technology. It'll get us in the air. It is not the solution. That'd be like saying today's 757 should have been replaced with a Wright brother plane. So that just gives you a better idea of what type of technology it is. It's just the beginning. B, another thing I wanted to mention was that CNBC nonstop hypes up Bitcoin all day, every day. They'll have guests on that have nothing to do with Bitcoin, and they'll ask them, what do you think about Bitcoin? That's a red flag right there, that the MSM is all over Bitcoin. That's one of the main reasons I don't personally recommend it. Another thing is, if we have a power outage, I always thought the power outage would be related to Bitcoin, because they shut down the power, they send the people where they need to go, they destroy the Bitcoin setups while the power's out, power comes back on and nobody has Bitcoin, and then they can build from scratch. But the power outage, if there's a real power outage, like in Puerto Rico when they had that hurricane, a quarter of the island didn't have any power. Nobody cared about Bitcoin. People needed gas. They exchanged silver for gas. They exchanged gold for things that they needed. So in a situation like that, Bitcoin isn't going to do anybody any good. And I know that the Bitcoin bugs say that if the power is out and even one computer has power to it, they can say Bitcoin. That's probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There's no way that's possible. Another thing is, there's a guy who's also considered himself a truther. He's been on the same message for a long time. His name is Chris Dwayne. His channel is called The Greatest Truth Never Told. He doesn't get into a lot of the other things. All he says is that if enough people bought silver, it's the most manipulated metal on the planet. It would single-handedly destroy the banking cartel, which is true. Enough people buy silver and take delivery, not that stupid silver squeeze that everybody was doing with Wall Street bets, buying paper silver. If everybody took enough physical silver, it would collapse. They get a global economy as we knew it. So that's his message, but he's been very successful as a business person for a long time. He was invited to a meeting when Bitcoin was just getting started, and he said that when he was in the room, he said there was government officials and NSA members there. So he's never trusted Bitcoin. He calls it a digital illusion of wealth, and he said that the NSA was there from the beginning. So these are some of the things that I take into consideration because I'm a business person, I'm an investor as well. And I understand the benefits of something like crypto, and I will say that there's no way that our government has the best hackers, because the best hackers on the planet, they're bred off of anarchy. So they're not going to go and work with the government. And if they wanted money, they would hack for money. So the government isn't going to be able to buy those people. The government gets B- hackers. They do not get A+ hackers. And if A+ hackers really created Bitcoin, that means the government would not be able to stop it unless they did a blackout and went and shut down their main facilities all over the world simultaneously, like a direct hit or something like that. That's pretty much what we're talking about, if it's legit or not. If it was created by legitimate hackers, yes, it's going to have a one-up on the government. If it wasn't and the NSA was involved, then it's definitely a setup.
Well, very interesting information and thoughts. And I've been saying that about Bitcoin too. I mean, no power, no Bitcoin. And yeah, same type of scenario people were just saying, they'd find how not helpful Bitcoin is. So yeah, I see all sorts of problems with an electronic currency. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, buddy. Take care.
All right, yeah, have a good night. And again, just to make a point about the language, guys, if you're new here, all of these numbers relating to Catholic are so important. In the Catholic Bible, there's 145 more chapters than there is the Protestant Bible. And in the Catholic Old Testament, there's 46 books, where there's 39 in the Protestant. The only Catholic president to date before Biden was number 35, JFK, killed at 46. Biden's number 46, elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. The second Catholic Pope. What's up, caller?
What's up, Zach? How you doing?
Doing all right.
Hey, I'm calling from Houston, Texas. I don't know if you're still on about the blackouts. And
no, yeah, that's a topic we'll take tonight too, man. How you guys doing down in Houston?
Dude, fucking better now. It's like 28 outside right now, dude. The other fucking days it was like 10 degrees out at this time.
Sure.
And I got power back, thank God. Dude, I live in a tiny house. As shitty as that is, I pay, little rent. So my house got down to like 13 degrees on the inside, bro. It was insane. My dog is about to die. Like, it was scary. I know this shit was planned the moment, like, this shit started happening. The power went out randomly at like 5 a.m. Because I was up when it went out. The craziest shit, dude.
Yeah, scary times, man. I mean, it just shows they can really mess with our lives. I mean, we got to experience it up here last summer with all the fires and just living in smoke for weeks at once. We didn't see the sun for weeks. We were just covered in smoke.
Right, with those dudes.
Yeah, and it's going to be even worse this year. This year they're really going to pound home a point about the environment this year with their weather warfare for the ongoing agendas.
Yeah,
but yeah,
really
man, it's messed up what they do.
Yeah, that Agenda 2030 and 2021 bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, yeah, man, just appreciate the work. Doing God's work, bro. Everything you do.
All right, man. Well, hang in there and hope they don't turn out the power again, so stay warm.
Dude, we should be good unless they bullshit. I mean, I think there was a fake... Okay, so what they said it was because of overuse. I mean, in the summer in Texas and Houston specifically, it's like 110, bro. And we blast the ACs. I blast my Xbox, my fucking computer.
Right.
You know what I mean? We use every electronic imaginable. And
right.
You're telling me... you know what I mean? You're telling me the power went out because of overuse?
Right.
Stupid fan and the wind turbine stopped turning. Bro, the wind turbine turned in Alaska all year. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Dude.
Right.
Get the fuck. Stupid ass motherfuckers buy this shit too.
Yeah.
I can't believe people buy this shit, dude.
Yeah. Well said. That's exactly right. Yeah.
God. All right, man. Well, let me get out here. Let me let some other people talk on here, but.
All right, man.
Yeah.
You have a good night.
You say, bro.
Yeah. You too. Take care. Caller.
Yo, what's up, Zach?
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. This is Rocco. I'm from Tampa, Florida. Just wanted to call in. You still talking? I got in the chat kind of late. I was just curious if you are still talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah. Bitcoin's still the topic.
Cool, man. Well, just wanted to say, first of all, love your work. Been following you for a little bit. Love your books. But also, I've been following crypto for a little bit, and I watched this guy on YouTube. His name's Chico Crypto, and he's been a bit censored in terms of like crypto guys, because there's a lot of big crypto guys on YouTube that are kind of like pushed more than others, mainly so because of their advertising, and they make money off of people hitting their links. But this guy named Chico Crypto has some evidence to suggest that Elon Musk might be Satoshi. So that's just something I wanted you to look into.
Well, that would be interesting. He had a big headline the other day. How much did he invest the other day? I didn't do my homework on that. That was a story that I forgot to look at. But there was a big story I know not long.
$1.5 billion Tesla put into Bitcoin.
Okay.
But also, if you remember, Musk with, I forget what his name is, but when Musk founded X.com, which eventually became PayPal, Musk, when he was on the board of directors there, I think he was on the board of directors only for like 6 months before he got kicked off. And one of the main things that he was trying to do with PayPal was make PayPal essentially like this one-stop shop for all things. And what he was trying to do with PayPal before he got kicked off the directors of X.com was essentially try to make their own digital currency. So just I would suggest looking up Chico Crypto on YouTube, and you can find, he's got a couple of videos talking about how he really thinks that Elon Musk is Satoshi. And I mean, Elon Musk being the person he is, being a big Jesuit pawn, I think it would make a lot of sense. So that's the only reason I'm calling, man. I just wanted you to look into that.
All right. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Of course, man. Have a good night.
Again, for people who don't know, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos keep going back for a title of who's the richest man in the world by the numbers, and it's the same pattern for both, which points right back to the Jesuits. Jesuit equals 78. For example, Elon Musk became the richest man in the world on January 7th, the 78-year anniversary of the death of Tesla, and both Tesla and Jesuit equals 78. What's up, caller?
Exactly, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's the topic. All right. So how many people live in America, roughly?
350 million, something like that.
Right. Yeah. So you telling me, right, if a billionaire donates $1 billion, he could wipe out everyone's debt, right?
Wait, if a billionaire donates $1 billion, he can wipe out everyone's debt? I'm not following.
So say like 300 million people. One billionaire, they could, donate $1 million to every family, and it won't even hurt nobody. It won't even hurt them. So this money talking is crazy. It's funny how.
Well, hold on. If a billionaire paid $3 of every debt for every American, that would be $1 billion. Would that get rid of everybody's debt? No, there's a lot of debt for each person in America, so I don't think that math's quite right.
But this is all controlled by the same people, like you said, man. This sucks.
Well, that's the thing is the wealth in the country. It's a very small group of people who have the vast majority of it. So a group of people that would fit on a school bus have more wealth than the other 350 million people who live in the nation. That's the wealth disparity. But yeah, you're right, man.
I don't think a lot of people could wrap their mind around that.
Yeah, that's what they need to think about. All right, man. You have a good night. I appreciate the call. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
What's up, caller?
Hey, Zachy Pooh. I just had one quick thing to say. There's a show on Hulu called Manifest that it's been out for a couple of years now, and it's the show's about people who get on a plane, but on the plane they go 5 years ahead of time.
Oh yeah, and it starts with the big 47 ritual. I remember when that came out. They put a big 47 on the screen right at the beginning, and time equals 47. I talked about that like 5 years ago when that show came out. I was like, "There's another example of time in 47."
And they act like at first I was like kind of into it and everything, but then like once they started like putting like the gematria like in our face, like saying that like this.
Isn't it like right in the first minute of the show that they do that? I swear it's right at the beginning.
Yeah. It's like every single episode, I swear to God.
That's how almost every TV show is when you know this knowledge. You're like, wow, look at that, how they code the numbers right in the show. Right in your face, man. You'd never know.
I was just watching iCarly on Netflix, and I saw this Freemason. Like, I didn't, like, when I was younger, obviously, I didn't know about the Freemasonry symbol.
You guys, I'm just going to interrupt and say there's a reason that this channel has been deleted 19 times today in Gematria Effect News. The bigger channel is about to be deleted. It'll be the 20th time my channel has been taken down since June of 2017. You know what's funny? The deletion of my channel first started on Elon Musk's birthday in 2017. It'd be funny if it turned out Elon Musk was the mastermind of the world, but I don't think it's that way. I think the dude's a puppet. Anyway, go ahead, man.
But yeah, so what's it called? So I didn't know about no Freemasonry symbol when I was younger, obviously. But as I grew up, and then once I learned about Gematria and what Freemasonry was, I was watching iCarly on Netflix. This is show from Nickelodeon. And I was looking on the background, and there was this symbol that just looked exactly like a Freemasonry symbol. And it was just so shocking.
It's everywhere. Hey, the chat, you got the chat rolling because when you called in, you called me Zacky Poo, which also made my face do one of those funny expressions. Where'd that come from, Zacky Poo? That sounds like something. That sounds like some pillow talk. So let's not do Zacky Poo anymore, man. You got the chat all off balance. So.
All right, no more Zacky Poo. But so yeah, I was just calling in to talk about Manifest and just how the Gematria is just there. And then I also wanted to say, can the moderators in your chat unban Urban.1K? That is me, and there is no reason for me to be timed out in the chat. I can't type no more because of it.
Somebody timed you out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just asking.
Well, it must have been one of the mods, but okay. Just when you come back, say, don't time me out. And I don't know what you were up to unless you were spamming Zacky Poo or something, man. But now you got the whole chat on that one.
No.
So. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Leave this guy alone when he comes back. Appreciate the call, man. You have a good night. What's up, caller?
What's up, man? I was hoping I could squeeze in here, but I was cutting off the doggone YouTube in here. But what's up, man? I'm going to keep it short, man. If I could talk to you about decode all damn day, I would, bro. But I was just sitting in the car with my shorty, man. She said, I'm on your YouTube. I'm watching you every damn day. She gave me a little suggestion. She said, did you hear about the parasites in Texas? I'm like, what the hell? I'm gonna keep it real brief with you, man, because I'm trying to get people on the line. But notice parasites in Texas, man, and I'm not a big decoder or nothing, but I'll watch you and listen to your word. And another thing, I love how you treat people too, and trolls need to be treated like damn trolls. So you know what I'm saying? But you treat people with kindness, man. I respect the hell out of you, and I'm really finna grab your book, man. But she said, you know about the parasites in Texas? And me to myself, looking at you, what you got going on, man, and listening to your word, man, Texas got a lot going on right now, bro. And I had no idea about the parasites in the water. I just wanted to see if you talked about it. Did I miss a video or something like that?
No, that's a topic I still need to cover. But, yeah, I have heard that's going on down there, too. And that might be something that's going to be going on along a lot of our places. Like they did that thing back with Flint years ago. You know, I think that kind of stuff could be going on all over the nation. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's all I wanted to say, man. I'm going to keep it brief. I'm going to let somebody get into the call. Again, man, I appreciate you and what you do and how you treat people, man. I'm going to listen to myself on the line, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man, you have a good night. Appreciate the call. You take care.
All right, buddy. You too, bro.
See you, man. All right, let's go out to Houston, Texas. What's up, Houston?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
I've been watching video for a minute. Since 2014, I'm going to say on the Bitcoin situation, I'm thinking to digital, to push the market and everything in digital in some type of aspect. And I've been telling my people, saying everything, and when I was talking about it in the store and I seen the Jason Black sticker 99, and I was just thinking, is that like confirmation or some sort? Just wanted to pitch in, say those little words. Hello?
You're here, Houston, but your signal's cutting in and out. And my friend down in Houston, who I was talking to earlier, his signal was cutting in and out. And he said his cell phone hasn't been working at all a lot this past week. So I think they're doing all sorts of things to interfere with the people of Houston right now. But I'm trying to hear you.
Damn. Hell yeah. But I just wanted to say that and keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, man. You stay warm down there. Feel bad for you guys, man. Stay warm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You have a good night, man. Caller? You're 773. You're on.
Oh, what's good? Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm sorry. I couldn't. It's the live stream now on time. But yeah, so my brother, he's a big investor. He invests in Bitcoin. So I'm trying to explain to him, like, some people think that it's going to fluctuate and whatnot. But he's telling me Bitcoin can't be modified because it's all a bunch of equations and it's decentralized. So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, the people who believe in Bitcoin say those things, but then you talk to them more, and they'll admit to you that they don't know exactly who's behind it, and it's really complicated. But they should look at the history of it. I mean, there's days where it just falls out, like the whole value just disappears, but then it comes back like fire. So that's what keeps Bitcoin people rolling. But what I'm showing people is, man, they're doing things ritualistically, and we know who operates this way, the same people that control all the other things in the market this way. And it ultimately looks like this is their asset. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to pull the rug out from it. They could continue to build it. It could go a lot higher. But I think people should realize that, you know, it's not as fail-proof as some people think, because I think some people are turning Bitcoin into a religion, and they just believe in it so much, even though there's a huge piece of what's really behind it missing, and they seem not to care about that because they've heard from all these internet forums and supposed experts about how essentially it's a fail-proof system and it's the future. So, again, I just see a lot of people really believing in it and maybe not thinking about those things that they should consider. But, you know, for the people who've made a lot of money in it, man, you know, they don't want to turn their back on it now. And it's just like people I was talking to down in Portland. They're like, yeah, I saw your video and your projection for Valentine's, and they see it's true now. But I have a feeling those same people are still believing in it, man, because they just think it's the future. And we'll see. So...
All right, thank you, man. That's all I wanted to ask, because he just is really adamant on it. He keeps telling me that buy Bitcoin because it's going to keep surging. It's going to go down, but it's going to keep surging back up. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, that could be true, too. That could be true, so we'll find out. All right, man. You have a good night. Okay, and I was just going back to how the word Catholic is so encoded. Again, 145 chapters more in the Catholic Bible than the Protestant. More books in the Old Testament in the Catholic. There's 46, just like the only Catholic president was JFK, who was number 35, killed at age 46. We said all year it was going to be Biden because the election was 46 weeks after the Catholic Pope's birthday, plus Beau Biden was sacrificed at 46. Joe Biden, the election was confirmed for him on January 7th, 7/1, and it was called for him 353 days after his birthday, the 71st prime. And then the inauguration day was on Pope Francis's 35th day of his age. And he's 84 at the time, Pope Francis. And Washington, D.C.'s had diplomatic relations with the Vatican since 84. Jesuits, 84. Again, United States of America is 84. And... Again, Pope Francis, 84. Joe Biden's originally from Scranton, a very Jesuit town in Pennsylvania where the office is set, a TV show that ran 201 episodes, and again, not by accident. It's because it's all Jesuit tributes like we talked about earlier with the Jesuits in 201. Again, the office set in Scranton, Pennsylvania, 201 episodes. And there's a whole lot more to that story too, but Jesuits run the show, you guys. And all the calls are going to voicemail now, so that means the phone's screwed up. But I'm going to put it on airplane mode and let it chill out for a second. But since that happened, let's go read people's comments about the Bitcoin prediction for... I got to scroll down to where my post was. Where's my post at? Jeez, a lot of comments here. Okay. For the person who thought the cell phone was behind me, that cell phone's dead. It's not in use right now. It's just sitting there on the windowsill. I needed the phone that it's actually connected. But hold on, let's see. So I said, what do you guys think is going to happen for Bitcoin tomorrow? If you got here late, I encourage you to take that red bar at the bottom of the screen and just drag it all the way back to the left, rewind the video, go to playback speed, make it 1.5 so it goes through faster, and watch the beginning of the video. And maybe you'll catch up with the stream. But if not, the most important stuff's at the beginning anyway. So, we're looking out for tomorrow. I expect there to be fireworks with Bitcoin tomorrow. And I'm not sure about tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going up or down. I'm torn on that thought. I just think there's going to be something very interesting with Bitcoin tomorrow. And again, we covered that at the beginning of the video. So I want to see if somebody had the information on why it's going up or down. Kevin says, I think tomorrow Bitcoin will bring a digitized technocracy that controls you with social scores. Well, that's another thing that they're going to bring to us in this digital world, social scores. That'll be great. How can we know if Bitcoin dumps or pumps tomorrow? See, all right, here, let's consider something. That one caller said maybe Elon Musk is really Satoshi, and I don't know that that's true or not, but let's just see here how let's see how the milestone to start the year on January 2nd. Let's see how that lined up with Musk first of all, because I didn't look at that at the time. It's interesting. It was 188 days after Musk's birthday. Now, that's a very interesting number because in the most simple cipher, Bavarian Illuminati equals 188, and that number has a lot to do with money. The U.S. dollar bill denominations are the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, the 100, and if you add them up, it equals 188, just like how the dollar bill has Illuminati symbolism all over it. And again, the Bavarian Illuminati was established May 1st, 1776, and it was renamed Order of Illuminati, which again is 201. And Adam Weishaupt ended up dying 201 days after the anniversary of the establishment on November 18th, 1830, the 322nd day of the year, 322. And tomorrow we have that big 322 ritual with Satoshi Nakamoto. It'll be his 322nd day of his age. Sunday will be 322 days after his birthday, so Sunday could be interesting as well. But this weekend should be interesting indeed with Bitcoin, whose prices do move through the weekend. And, okay, so the day that it hit that 33,000 milestone was 188 days after Musk's birthday. That is interesting. It was also 26 weeks and 6 days like the Jesuit motto, Isu Somnum Salvator's 266, like Pope Francis is the 266th Pope. And then, here, just for kicks, that day it collapsed, January 21st. Well, that should be 19 days later. 207. The Magician is 207, like from the tarot cards. And I guess it kind of is like a magic trick, the way it drops way down and then soars back up. And then this milestone today, which we talked about, the big Roman Catholic tribute. Well, it was 236 days after Musk's birthday. It would also be his 237th day of his age, 237. That's interesting because those are the prime factors of 42. And the day of this milestone had 42 date numerology. And again, we're talking about Jesuit rituals. Usually the number with Bitcoin is 21. The 21 million Bitcoins hit the record high on 2/1 to start 21. Big surge that day. But when you run it in reverse, Jesuit's also 42. And remember, Jesuit's 78 like Tesla's 78, and he became the richest man in the world on the 78-year anniversary of the death of Nikola Tesla. And he became worth $191 billion that day, surpassing Jeff Bezos, who was $187 billion. And also, the term billionaire is 191. So, let's see. Elon Musk, 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. What day was that story? I got to make sure I get the date right on that. Tesla buys 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. That was on a Monday. So let's think about that. The coming Monday will be the 20th. Is that right? No. The coming Monday will be the 22nd. So it was the 8th. It was 2 weeks ago on the 8th. 31. Okay. So that was February 8th that he did that. So it was 11 days earlier. Whoops, I typed in the wrong thing. 7 months and 11 days, 32 weeks and 1 day. If you counted the span, it would have been 32 weeks and 2 days, kind of like that 322. 226 is a number related to planets and Saturn. Yeah, I don't know. And this is just speculation on the Elon Musk thing. But yeah, I could be missing something simple. Sometimes I have to think about things for a minute. That's the 39th day of the year. Secrecy and Masonry are 39. Again, modern Freemasonry is the creation of the Jesuits. All these things are related. The Illuminati, the Jesuits, the Masons. In case you missed this post that I just put up yesterday about Kamala Harris, again, to understand how the Masons, the Jesuits, and the Illuminati come together, look no further than this photo that Kamala Harris posted on February 17th. She posted this February 17th at 47 minutes past the hour, like how she could become the 47th president. Big boss number there in D.C. But she's walking on the Masonic checkerboard floor between the Masonic pillars that represent Boaz and Joaquin from Solomon's Temple. And the thing is, that was the 48th day of the year, Freemasons 48. It was 120 days after her 56th birthday, Illuminati's 120 and 48. And again, the Bavarian Illuminati was established by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, and part of its intent was to gain greater control over modern Freemasonry, which was already a Jesuit creation. So it's like kind of like building a project, letting it go, and then that was created in 1717. It would have been 34... No. What kind of math is that? It would have been 59 years later, 1776, where the Bavarian Illuminati was created. And again, that makes sense because Freemasonry is 59, the 17th prime, and Mason is 17, whereas Masonry is 33, and the House of the Temple, the Masonic headquarters in D.C., which has always been a Jesuit territory. The address is 1733, and it's got 33 pillars on the outside, and they're each 33 feet tall. But Musk made that big investment on the 39th day of the year. Masonry, secrecy, they got the 39 thing. So, yeah, I got to think about it more. That date had 15 numerology, and he invested $1.5 billion on the 15 date. 47's the 15th prime. Masonic compass set at 47 degrees, the 15th prime. So, okay, let me go back to reading people's comments here. Okay, where were we at? When will the market crash? Oh, yeah, I was trying to see if that could help us out with what the market could do. But no, it's not giving me any clear indicator. Maybe I'm missing something. It does take some thinking, this work. When will the markets crash? What does your... Well, you know, we've predicted a lot of the dates dead on where the market took big fall, and the biggest fall so far in the time of the Biden presidency. Just like how the market was really synced up with Trump, it looks like they might do the same thing with Biden. So let's see if I can bring this post up. My website's running slower right now because everything's being backed up onto some cloud server to read these storage space. Okay. So yeah, the worst day of the market under Biden so far was 68 days from his birthday. And remember, it was just like this with Trump. When it was distances from his birthday that corresponded with the Gematria market or Wall Street, the market would have its worst day on those days. So the market's worst day was January 27th so far in the time of Biden. That was 68 days after his birthday, and market 68. The exact same type of patterns that we predicted and documented all throughout the Trump administration. Market would tank on dates with the Wall Street and market Gematria. And if you look throughout history, that's been consistent throughout history. Dates that had the market, Wall Street numerology, those are dates in history where the market had its biggest falls ever. And you can see how scripted it all is. It's just like how, remember, NASCAR banned the Confederate flag, and then the next day the market fell 1,861 points, like how the Civil War with the Confederate flag began in 1861, and that same day the big news story in the news was the autonomous zone in Seattle next to the Jesuit University, Seattle University, which is one of the nation's either 27 or 28 Jesuit universities. And again, the Confederate States were known as a autonomous zone, not to mention the word Confederates 201, like the Jesuit order, like how the Confederate statue of Albert Pike fell on June 19th, 2020, and then 201 days later, you had the Confederate flag flying through D.C. on January 6th, like 6/1, like 61, the year the Civil War began. And we predicted that there'd be all sorts of Confederate symbolism on that day before it happened from understanding this knowledge and how these people work by patterns and make history repeat itself and use symbolism. But Again, just watch those days with the Wall Street and market gematria connections with Biden. I bet you it'll be the same thing just like they did with Trump. And they probably did it during the time of Obama too, but, I found gematria in 2013. By the time I was finally getting good at this, Trump was running for president, and there was more stuff synced up with him than Obama, even when he was just a candidate, which was part of the reason we thought, it's looking like this guy's going to be the next president. They made him the center of the universe. Okay, TikTok thinks it's gone up so fast it's got to come for a big pullback. We'll see. Reggie says it's going to go up to 322,000. Okay. Skull Cap Savant, I'll have to look into him. Thanks, Diane. Oh, yeah. Jeremy White was on this Jeremy White JHW3D YouTube channel, longtime contributor to the community. He's been on this Brady thing and her making it to the finals. And so if you're interested in the tennis, check out the channel JHW3D. All one thing, no space. J is in John, H is in Hector, W is in White, 3D. He's got a great video on it. Mark says it's designed to crash. Byron says Bitcoin and crypto markets are in a bull market. There is proof on the stock to flow model that it's still got 6 months left min of price action to the upside. Based on the history of the coins trading, it will dip at the point not before. Okay, so he's saying it's going up for the next 6 months. And, it could be a real serious run, too. I mean, it's possible. It could be going up. It's like, okay, hit this milestone today. Well, tomorrow, man, Skull and Bones is getting even more involved, and they're taking this thing. They're going to get everybody to believe in the Bitcoin before maybe they pull out the rug. I think that they are eventually going to pull out the rug. I just have a feeling Bitcoin's not the chosen currency when you look at some of these other ones there and who's on their boards and whatnot. So, yeah, absolutely. Digital currency ties in with Agenda 2030. Again, you guys have to understand that Agenda 2030 is about taking care of the earth, right? But all these things need to be done to do it, including, really monitoring everyone's carbon footprint. So realize we're going to be living in a world where they track every last expenditure, every last thing we do, social credit scores. All this stuff is coming to really manage us and track us and make sure we're not going outside of the limits they set for us. Because this is what we've tolerated from government for all of our lives, for them to tell us what's right, what's wrong, what's allowed. God forbid you don't like to drink alcohol because it gives you a headache and you don't like the feeling, but you always been the type of person that likes to smoke a little green leaf, or more like a green bud. You can juice the leaves. They're not bad for you either. But, you've lived in a world where, man, if you want to take the risk of growing and smoking that green bud, which just makes you feel nice and maybe a little bit more, free-flowing and energetic and creative, God forbid, you smoke that green bud, you grow that green bud, you're going to end up in Uncle Sam's jail cage because you were supposed to drink alcohol because that's what Uncle Sam said was okay. You know what I mean? These limits get set for us. They become the rules. And, whether those rules are truly right or wrong, if you break them, you're in big trouble because Uncle Sam said so. And again, that's why you got people like Mark Passio out here telling you that government is slavery and the only laws that should matter are the laws of God, which are the natural laws, which, whether you believe in God or not, are the laws of the world we live in, the natural laws. And no, they're not the 10 Commandments from the Bible, which are not natural laws. Those are religious dogma. Natural laws are laws like, that you cannot escape. If you jump off a 100-story building and you don't land, if you jump off a 100-story building, it probably doesn't matter if you land in water or concrete. You're dead. That's a natural law. You can't break that natural law unless you want to die. Natural laws are laws that exist and are real and are just part of this world. One of those things, unless we're a sociopath, is if we're good to somebody, it gives us a good feeling, and it gives somebody else a good feeling, and it makes the world a better place. When we do something bad to somebody, we probably hurt them, and we probably feel this guilt and pain inside, and then we make the world a worse place. These are natural laws. Different than, no, you will not smoke that bud, or you will end up in that jail cell, which are actually laws that go against natural law because, man, if you take away Johnny, who just liked to smoke his bud but was a saint who lived by the golden rule and everybody respected him in his community, but man, you take him out of the community and you throw him in a cell because he got caught smoking his green buds, his crystally buds. You violated natural law. And that's what government does. Government says, ooh, you're responsible for those towers over there. It doesn't matter if we don't have any evidence. We're going to come bomb and blow you up. Natural law, broken. World, worse. But, yeah, digital currency absolutely ties in because it's all about building this world where every last detail about us is tracked under the guise of, we need to monitor your behavior to make sure you're doing your part to create a healthier earth. And again, I'm all for that. If government was really just this nice, honest thing and they just really wanted to keep an eye on us, not to do anything wrong, but just to make sure that we're being good people because we really need people to be good right now, I might almost get down for that. But I know that that's not the way government is. Government's this thing that wants to control, exploit, tax, use you to make somebody else wealthy. That's what government is. And that's all these agendas are ever going to be. And by tracking every last penny that we have, they're going to be able to tax every last penny that we make, that we spend. So, I guess those are the things we have right now. Somebody posted, JP Morgan stated, millionaires don't need astrology, billionaires do. I think he said use. But whatever, it's the same quote. And again, astrology, gematria, it's all synced up. It's all in tune. Again, the same language and the same calendar. The language of the world, English, given to us by the Catholic Church, just like the Gregorian calendar. How many weeks in the year? Pope's 52 in the most simple cipher. Pope is 52, 52 weeks in the year. Earth 52. These things are not an accident. Again, it's all synced up. It's all time-related. It's all time-based. And you know what, Truth Seeker? I just want to chill right there for the night. Been working all day, all week for 7.5 straight years. And I just got to give Sweet Lady, a little attention before it gets too late because it's almost 11 here. And she doesn't like when I go past 10. So appreciate all of you guys. If you are in Bitcoin and you're going to write it out through the weekend, I'm cheering for you, even though I'm not sure this is the right thing. But, I like to see that people in the community are doing well. But again, you guys, just be cautious. Be cautious. So have a good rest of your evening. And if you guys could hit the like, that would be great. I see there's about 1,300 people here and only 400 and some likes. Again, remember, if you guys hit the like when you're here, if you hit the like button, it's more likely that this stream shows up in a stranger's feed. When you log onto YouTube and sometimes there's just a random live stream there and you've never heard of this channel. The reason that showed up is because that's one of the hottest things on YouTube at the moment. A lot of people are watching. They've given it a like. So they're thinking, oh, maybe more people logging on right now would be interested in this. And realize I'm working against censorship all the time. I know they even take away some of your guys' likes. But honestly, had all 13 of you hit the 1,300 of you hit the like button here that thought this video was important, it might have reached, 50, 100, 200 new people. So, again, I don't know why you guys are always so stingy with the likes. I don't know what that's all about. But, again, it's a really simple thing to do to help get the word out there. So, again, if you guys did get here late, please take the red thing at the bottom, pull it all the way back to the left, watch the video from the beginning. You don't have to watch all of it. You can watch it up to where I went to calls, probably the first 20 or so minutes. And, again, you can go to the playback speed in the options, either in the top right corner on your cell phone or bottom right on your computer, I think. Click playback speed, make it 1.5, 1.75. You'll still be able to hear me clearly, but it'll just go a lot faster. So, have a good night, you guys. Appreciate all of you.